Hi, welcome to Divine Breath Yoga. I'm Candace, your yoga tour guide, here again to offer you some ideas on how to breathe and move to use your body and your breath as a form of prayer. Take a moment to rest. Be still with God in whatever way you see God as we meditate today on poetry by Edwina Gateley. The link to her poem is in my description below. And also my music today is used with permission by Moto Yuki, and that link is also in my description. So today, my friends, I welcome you onto your mat to rest. As you come to rest, perhaps you come to lay down, or you curl on your side, or you sit in a comfortable chair, but find how you can rest right now. If you're laying down, feel your body melt and relax down onto the surface of your mat. If you're coming to seat, feel yourself get grounded on those hips nice and heavy. We begin and end our practice by finding this quiet space, this time to rest before we move. Yoga is about finding that balance, so we begin with rest. Give a nice big breath out. Feel your body melt down and soften. Your face relax. Feel that breath in, that breath that restores our life, bringing us balance and peace. And maybe you take your hands today and place one on your belly and one up on your heart so that you can feel the rhythm of that life-giving breath. How it expands your belly out and stretches your ribs and up into your heart. And how as you let go of that breath, everything gets soft and ready for renewal. Letting your breath be slow and long. We begin to open our hearts and our minds to be filled and strengthened with rest. Edwina Gateley wrote the poem, "Let Your God Love You." So my friends, however you see God, we are all on different journeys. Here's the poem, "Let Your God Love You." Breathe. Let the words resonate in your heart. Be silent. Be still. Alone. Empty before your God. Say nothing. Ask nothing. Be silent. Be still. Let your God look upon you. That is all. God knows. God understands. God loves you with an enormous love and only wants to look upon you with that love. Quiet. Still. Be. Let your God love you. Friends, let's quietly just breathe for a few moments, letting God love us. As we move from this breath meditation practice into our movement portion, listen to your body. If it gives you that ouch signal, that is a movement that you don't need to practice today. Use that breath out to welcome in a stretch, to move through perhaps what might be a sticky place, but listen to your body. Push for that strength and that renewal, but not for injury. Do just the movements that speak to where your body is at today. Whenever you need, take time to just be still, to be quiet, to breathe, and to be. We start to welcome in some gentle movement with just a little wiggle of the fingers and the toes. Adding some movement into the hands and the feet. I'm going to slide down onto my back. We'll do a few stretches from there if you'd like to join us there. Otherwise, stretch from a seated position. Feel your back now stretch nice and long, pulling the neck long. Letting the head come back down to rest. Plant the arms out to the side. Walk the shoulder blades under just a little. Lift up the hips. Give them a stretch and a pull, stretching your back down towards your feet and letting it come down to rest. With those bent knees gives us strength to push into the feet, feeling the power into the hips, that nice press of the back on the ground. Start to gently wake it up. A breath in, letting the belly lift up like a balloon pulling your belly button. And then a heavy weight pushes on that breath out. The back pushes down nice and flat. That lift on the breath in. That press down on the breath out. Now that might be enough, just this gentle cat-cow movement, but maybe you'd like to press into those hands and shoulders, lift the hips on the breath in, lifting into a gentle bridge, starting nice and slow, rolling it back out on the breath out. Feeling that strength as you push through the feet, balance on the shoulders and arms. Let it go on that breath out. Gently warming up that spine with a nice big breath. Now perhaps you hold your bridge. Give that nice push of the hips up, the strength as the feet push down, the balance in the shoulders. And with control, rolling back down. Taking a reset breath. Hug one knee in, give it a nice squeeze on that breath out, feeling the pinch in your hip. Let it come away. Breath out, hug the other leg in. Feel that pinch in the hip. Again, let it come away. Hugging in both knees. Use that breath out, squeeze the air out. Breath in, let the knees come away. That breath out, squeezing. Now maybe like you're using your knees to stir a big, huge pot. Push them off to the sides and away from you and hug them back in. Slow big circle with the knees. Circling the knees in the other direction. Give one more nice hug in. That breath out. Maybe you curl the head, neck, and shoulders up, curling into a ball. With control, lowering that head, neck back and slow down. Waking up the ankles with a nice circle of the ankles. Feeling that full range of motion, maybe even letting the toes come apart and squish back together. Circling the ankles in the other direction. Letting the feet come down, finding that strength in the legs, pushing the hips down. Check in, you have a nice long back. Waking up the hands by reaching up to heaven. Gentle circle of the wrists. Feeling again those clicks and pops. Circling the other direction. A gentle stretch of the wrist by letting the shoulder relax, the elbow bend, like a stop sign hand holding a platter. Your breath out, pulling the fingertips down toward the shoulder. Let it relax, stretch. If you'd like to add more, pushing the palm of the hand up to the ceiling. Nice slow breath. Like you have water on your hands, a flick of the hands and wrists away. Building the stretch on the other side, relax the shoulder, bend the elbow, that stop sign hand holding the platter. Your breath out, gently pulling the fingertips down, relaxing, letting it stretch. Listening if this side needs more by pushing the heel of the hand up to the ceiling. Breathe. Again, like you have water on the hands, give a nice flick of the hands and wrists away. Letting the hands come back down to your side, just a little more, lifting both feet up, the knees bent like you're sitting on a chair. This might be enough. If your lower back starts to hurt, you can always slide your hands underneath those hip bones or put a blanket or a pillow underneath there. But maybe your legs up the wall are with bent knees today. Maybe you slowly kick a heel up, kick the other heel up, bend the knees, breath out, kicking the heels nice and long. This legs up the wall pose. Nice long slow breath. Now this is a pose you can practice for a very long time by letting those heels rest against the wall or a bed or a headboard. Or maybe those knees stay bent and you rest them on the couch or a bed. And taking time to just breathe and be still here. Enjoying letting go. Finding that quiet where you can let God love you. A little stomach work. You can let those legs open up into a wide V. Kick through the heels, feeling that stretch on the back of the leg. With control, bringing them back up. Maybe you open and close that V, feeling the stretch on the back of your leg, kicking strong through those heels, adding those hands under the hips if it starts to give an ouch. Legs back up nice and strong against the wall, keeping the knees softly bent or kicking strong through those heels, a little scissor kick, kicking the legs front to back. Maybe that scissor kick comes a little bit bigger. Nice big breath. Letting those heels lower towards the floor without touching. Big breath. Let those legs come back up the wall. Give a break, hug the knees in. Stir that pot nice and slow. Bringing the knees around, forward and back. Circling the other way. Hugging those knees in nice and tight. And then letting the feet come back down. Feel that press into the legs, the hips nice and strong. Bring the arms out to the side for balance. Take a reset breath. Nice big breath in. And letting go on that breath out. And to slowly transition by pushing into the feet helps lift the hips and turn you onto your side, coming to rest on one shoulder. Drawing the knees in, making a pillow under the cheeks with your hand. This is called fetal pose. You take a moment here to rest. Feel that stillness where we can let God love us. pushing up, coming up to sit. Feel that balance underneath you. Relax the shoulders down, and then draw them up by the ears, circle them back behind you, let them drop down. Big mindful circles. Circling the other direction. Bringing the shoulders up by the ears, a big squeeze in, a sigh, spaghetti noodle down. Let those shoulders relax. The hands rest gently on the lap. They can be palms down to feel grounded, or palms up to be a little more receiving feeling. Almost like you're hugging a grapefruit under your chin, gives you a nice long neck. Balancing a book on the top of the head gives us a tall spine. Take a breath here now. Feel that expansion of the stomach, the ribs, up into the shoulders. And feel that empty, that letting go, that slow breath out. Letting the ear tip down toward one shoulder. Letting the head fall heavy to this side. A nice slow breath out, letting it stretch. Letting the head come back up nice and tall, that reset breath, that tall spine. And on your next breath out, letting the ear drop toward the other shoulder. That sigh out, letting it fall heavy to this side. Breathing, letting it stretch on this side. Letting that head come back up nice and tall, that reset breath. On a breath out, nod the head down, stretch on the back of the neck. That sigh out, letting go, letting the head fall heavy forward. Letting the head come back up, finding that length. Reaching the fingers together, making a pillow behind the head. Squeeze the shoulder blades back behind you. Let the elbows open wide. Lean back onto that headrest. Take a big breath. Letting those arms come away, shake them out, let them rest back down on the lap. That chin tucks in, that nice tall spine, big reset breath. Pushing the hands on the knees, giving a little rock from side to side. Letting the hips and the back to start to wake up. Using that breath out to lean a little more to each side. Maybe you add more by turning, looking up to heaven. Coming back up nice and tall. Grip the hands on the knees. Feel that belly pull back, that cat arch back. Let the chin drop down, looking to the lap. And pull those elbows nice and strong, letting the belly rock forward, the heart lift up. Big breath in. On that breath out, curve, exaggerate that curl of the spine. That breath in, curving, reaching, big breath in. Coming back up nice and tall, feeling where the pockets would be in your hips if you're wearing pants with pockets. We want to hinge from there. So feeling the rest of the body nice and strong, the stomach supporting the back, hinging forward. The hands can stay balanced on the knees, squeezing the elbows in, or maybe your hands reach out in front of you. On a breath out, give a little more of a bow. Practicing gentle kindness, lifting up on the breath in. And on that breath out, bowing. Letting that body stretch and relax, leaning forward. Walking the hands back towards you to come sit up nice and tall again. That sigh that relaxes the shoulders down. Again, hinging from the hips, this time pushing into the hip for a little lean to the side. Maybe you look up to heaven. Then Raising back up, that breath out, a push and lean to the other side. And this might be enough, keeping the balance with the hands on the hips. We'll hang out to one side, but maybe that hand slides down to the ground. Or maybe as you breathe out, you lift, slide the hand gently out. Maybe you want to add just a little more. That arm overhead reaches, extending the stretch out. Nice big breath. Letting the body walk up nice and tall. Give it a reset breath. Shake everything out. Find that balance. And the hands on the hips to push and lean. Hold to the other side. Maybe just looking up to heaven to add that little bit more. Or letting the hand rest down on the ground for a little more lean. Or lift on the breath in, a slide of the hand on the breath out. Or maybe adding that arm overhead, reaching, lengthening the stretch. Letting it come back up nice and tall. Relaxing both arms down to the side. Take that reset breath. You're going to transition by crossing the legs the other way. If your legs have had enough, stick them out, give them a little shake. Find that balance again, nice and tall. Like a string is lifting you out through the top of the head, would add some more motion to the spine, a little swish from side to side. This might be enough of a twist for you, but if you'd like to build into a bigger twist, find that stillness at the center, that nice tall spine, reaching a hand to the opposite knee, that other hand comes to the side for length. Taking a nice big breath and then moving from that hip pocket, turning slowly the belly, the ribs, the shoulder, head, and neck. Turn and look back behind you. Gentle kindness, maybe untwisting a bit, and on that breath out, giving a little more leverage on the knee. Seated twist. Swish it out from side to side. Find that stillness, that length, reaching to the other hand to knee, lifting on the side. Find that length, and if this side needs the twist, that breath out moves from the lowest belly, the ribs, the shoulders, head, and neck. Nice big breath in this twist. On that breath out, maybe adding a little more leverage with the hand on the knee. Coming back to the center stillness. Nice big breath. Now, if you prefer not to come to your knees, you can come and plant the feet in front of you. Wrap the arms around the knees, let the head drop. Rest here. But if you'd like to come onto hands and knees into child's pose, take your time getting there. Listen to the body if it needs any extra padding and added anywhere. Push back towards the heels, maybe placing a pillow under your seat. Maybe the big toes come together and the knees come a little further apart, makes room for the belly. Feel that nice length, that reach out first, hinging from the hips, lowering onto the elbows. You might just rest with your head onto the bent forearms. Or maybe on a breath out, that forehead comes down to the mat. Listening to your arms, your shoulders, where they need to rest today. Maybe they walk out and reach nice and long. Maybe they slide back by your heels to rest. Pausing a moment here to let our heads go below our hearts. To be still. To rest. To let God love you. Letting those hands slide back in front of you. Press nice and strong. It's called our tabletop, where we spread the hands out. Find that strength of the knees and the arms, nice and balanced and strong. Looking out towards the front of your mat gives you a nice long neck. Play with that cat-cow or the cat arch. Breathe that breath out, pulling the air. That breath in, letting the belly drop. Feel that rock, that strength from the tabletop to the cat arch. Letting the belly drop on that breath in. A little extra movement, look back towards the heel on one side. Back to the other side. You can transition to standing from here however you're able. You could do one downward dog, or we inch those hands forward, spread out the fingers. Feel that strength in the shoulders. Push back like you're going into child's pose, but curl the toes under. Push that tailbone back by the heels. Feel that strength into the hands. The knees start to lift. Pushing back towards the heels a little more to power the hips up. Looking back towards the ankles. Bending the knees a lot. Walking each leg straight and bent. Whenever you're ready to come up to stand, you find the hands and the feet inching their way together. Big bend to the knees, strength of the feet. Push into those feet to rise slowly up to standing. Again, we find that strength. Warming up the feet with a little rock from side to side. Letting the feet turn to their edges if you'd like. Feeling those shoulders spaghetti noodle and relax the arms. That helps get our balance so that they're weighty, heavy onto the hips. Find those feet nice and strong. Your feet might feel stronger underneath you with the legs close together or a step apart, or maybe even with your toes turned out. So find your strength, your balance. Sink heavy onto those feet. Feel the hips rest onto the legs. Feel that spine lift you up nice and tall, that book balanced on top. Relax the shoulders. Letting the palms flip forward is called mountain pose. A little grapefruit under your chin for a long neck. Feel the breath here. In this strength, this foundation, let your God love you. Taking this moment to rest, to feel this strength, this foundation of standing poses. Giving thanks for our perfectly imperfect bodies. Giving thanks for that God that loves us. That God that understands. God that just wants to look upon us with love. Giving thanks that those arms hug out to the side, a big wide reach, a pinch of the shoulder blades together. A big breath. Letting the arms extend that mountain overhead, big reach. Give a sigh that relaxes the shoulders down. Giving thanks for that breath of life, we pull the hands to our heart and let it come rest in stillness. Taking a moment to be still. Adding some movement here, those hands on the hips for a little lean side to side. Pushing into the hip on the breath out, maybe looking up to the ceiling. This might be enough. Or you add an arm that reaches overhead. Feeling that stretch on your side, finding the balance of your breath and your movement. Maybe you let those hands come off the hips and they just swish from side to side, leg to leg. Coming back, finding that stillness, the hands to the heart. Find where your hips are nice and strong on those legs. That stomach protects the back. The head reaches out into a strong L shape. Shake the knees, give a big bend. That nice, strong, long L shape. Taking a nice big breath, a big bend to the knees, letting them come back up. Feeling the strength of the L. This might be enough, but maybe you bend the knees, let the belly lower onto the lap. That feels balanced. Maybe you let the arms drop down towards your toes. Let the head relax. Shake it yes and no. To a forward bend. Perhaps on a breath out, you straighten the legs up, feeling that stretch on the back of the legs. If it's too much, bend the knees. Transition by letting the hands press onto the legs, looking out to the front of the mat. Half lift. Bending the knees, rolling your way back up. Finding that mountain strength balance. Pressed onto the feet, the shoulders relaxed, lifted up nice and tall. From here, playing with balance. Perhaps you add a chair in or you reach for a countertop. We want to find that strength of our core, the strength of our feet, the balance of the relaxed shoulders, the balance that comes from the nice lifted head. Look out in front of you, a focus point to help keep your balance, and let the weight shift to one standing leg. Now this becomes our tree, where the root is the foundation, brings that energy up nice and long and strong. Your hands might stay just right at the heart, or maybe dropped out to the side, or you start to grow some branches. This other leg you can play if it feels balanced and strong, giving that zip every now and then on the standing leg. Perhaps this foot slides in, pushing down on the toes, the heel into the ankle. Feel that zip of the tree trunk strong. Whatever you need, shaking this out, but you can add more by pushing into the calf. Letting this knee open up. Maybe you add more by lifting this leg over the knee, pushing into the thigh. Each tree beautiful and unique, but the purpose is to stand on the standing leg, feel that zip, that strength. Growing any branches that you'd like. Maybe your branches blow in the wind. Nice big breath. As you come back down, feel those feet strong, that mountain strength, and then relax things out. A little swish of the hips, maybe a hula hoop circle. Circling the other way. Now the whole body works in tree pose, but it starts with that strong foundation. Both feet strong, the hips balanced, the shoulders relax down, shake out that tension. Feel that zip that lifts you nice and tall, that balanced book on the top of your head, that grapefruit under the chin. Feel that breath, that balance, find that focus point, and then shift the weight to the other standing leg. It's a small movement, but feel that foot grip, that energy zip up through the hip, through the ribs, through the shoulders. Maybe you grow branches here, or hold your hands to your heart. Each tree is beautiful and unique on whichever leg balances better, balances worse. It is what it is. We work with it, reminding that leg to zip up the energy. Maybe you play with that other foot. It taps out to the side or it slides in, pushing into the toes. The heel pushes into that ankle, zipping that tree trunk nice and strong. Finding that breath, that balance here. Maybe the foot slides up into the calf, the knee pushes open. Finding that breath. Maybe this side feels strong, it lifts over the knee, pushing into the thigh. Find that breath, that balance, and maybe your tree branches wave in the wind. Rebuilding whenever necessary. Letting those tree branches come down, the legs come down. Feel the feet nice and strong, a little wider stance here to push the hips out from side to side. Give a relaxed circle of the hips again. Keeping those feet nice and wide. Maybe your toes turn out, but feel that stomach strong, the shoulders back. Again, to give our spine a little twist, we let the hands just swish from side to side. Or maybe they stay on your hips for just a gentle rotate. So hands on hips or hands swinging. Maybe they tap on each side. Maybe you'd like to add just a little bit more, letting the hands catch, squeeze, feel that nice length of a spine, and on the breath out, little leverage to turn and look back. Let it swish out. Again, if you'd like to hold that twist to the other side, find that nice twist and hold. That tall spine, that lift, that breath out, using the leverage to look back behind you. Coming back to center, letting it swish out. Those legs nice and wide. Again, we feel that stretch of leaning forward. So the strength of the hips protecting the back, a wiggle to the knees, reaching the head. Nice and long, tabletop back, wiggle to the knees. That breath out, feeling the legs straighten for a little more stretch. You can keep those knees bent like you're sitting on a little stool behind you. So play with knees bent or that big breath out to straighten the legs out. Keeping the head above the heart might be where your practice is today, but maybe you bend those knees. Let the belly come to rest on the lap a little more. Maybe the hands come to rest on the knees. Maybe the hands come to rest on the ground in front of you. You might add more by just looking down to the ground, letting the head drop heavy. Maybe on that breath out, you push the hips up, straightening the legs. A wide leg forward bend. Maybe letting the arms reach from leg to leg, a gentle little twist side to side. Come back to that stillness at the center. Transition by pushing the hands onto the legs, looking out in front of you again, that nice long back. Bend the knees, roll your way up. Take in that nice big slow breath. Bring the hands to the heart. Find that rest. Take that balance. As we start to work our way back down to finish our practice, we need to listen to the body and shake out any tension that we might possibly have built up. So hugging in a knee, hugging in the other. Maybe giving a nice, slow lengthen down, or perhaps you stay seated. Lengthen that neck out, hug the knees in, give a nice big squeeze. Maybe send those knees to sit on the chair, legs up the wall with bent knees. You place the arms out to the side for balance, letting those bent knees swish from side to side. That might be too much. Put the feet down, let the knees windshield wiper side to side. So either chair legs, a little twist, or feet planted, windshield wiper legs. Find that stillness, kick the heels up to the ceiling. Give a wiggle to the toes. Kick through the heel. Nice big breath, legs up the wall. Let your shoulders relax down. Your back heavy, pressed into the mat. Letting the knees bend, the feet come back down to rest. Maybe the feet walk out to the edges of the mat and the knees tent into the center. Adjust so that your back feels nice and supported, resting. Or kick the feet out, legs nice and long and relaxed. Or maybe as you listen to your body, it feels like today you'd like to curl up into that fetal pose on your side. The shoulders roll open, the backs of the hands touching the floor, palms up to receive. Take in a nice big breath. That breath out slow, let it melt you back into that state of rest. Feel the rise and fall of your belly, those deep, slow breaths. Close your eyes and soften your face. Maybe let your jaw wiggle from side to side and let the lips softly close together. Be still. Again, using this breath meditation time to meditate on poetry by Edwina Gateley. Open your heart to listen. The name of her poem is Let Your God Love You. So be still with God in whatever capacity you see God today. Be silent. Be still. Alone. Empty before your God. Say nothing. Ask nothing. Be silent. Be still. Let your God look upon you. That is all. God knows. God understands. God loves you with an enormous love and only wants to look upon you with that love. Quiet. Still. Be. Let your God love you. Welcome that love into your heart. With each breath, invite that love to swirl around your whole body. From your toes to the tip of your head, filled with that divine love. Knowing that although this practice is coming to an end, it truly goes with you. The importance of taking time to be still, to rest, to let your God love you. So my friends, invite some gentle movement into your fingers and toes, a little wiggle, maybe a scrunch to the nose as you wake up, a little movement to the head, shoulders and arms, the legs. Slowly bring yourself onto your side and up to seated. And this is where we come to give thanks at the end of our practice, bringing our hands to our heart, finding that quiet stillness, gathering the gift of our practice, gathering this love, holding it to our hearts. This is where we look at each other. And although we can't see each other through the screen, know that I see the light in you. And we bow to that light in each other. Peace be with you, my friends. Thank you.